Hello guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video because Manchester City, as ever, because it's winter and it's that time of year, are back in action tomorrow. It feels like the Chelsea game's just finished, even though it hasn't, it's been a couple of days. But tomorrow, football's already back. We play Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. We need 1 point to go through, and I'm going to preview that game today and discuss about the team news, the injuries. It's always about the injuries, isn't it? And all that kind of stuff, predictions and so on, and all the permutations to get through, and everything else about Manchester City and Shakhtar. Also, I am actually in the bedroom for once. I've been relegated here because Nicola's next door in the front room with a mate getting ready to go out. So I'm in here, unfortunately. But, you know, it's a bit dark, but you'll have to make do. This is this is my bedroom. Welcome to my bedroom on this channel. Anyway, back to the game. City plays Shakhtar tomorrow, so we're going to run through loads of things. Initially, I'm going to talk about kind of like the overview of this game. Now, obviously, we did beat Shakhtar 3-0 back in September. Goals from Mahrez, Gundogan and Gabriel Jesus were enough last time to beat them. And usually we do beat Shakhtar, if we're being totally honest. I think last season it was 6-0 at home and 3-0 away. So that would be a nice repetition, wouldn't it? I'd like to repeat that again. It'd be absolutely lovely. And largely, we are kind of favourites for obvious reasons because we're a better team than Shakhtar. Now, they're obviously always a little bit tricky every now and then. They can do some good stuff. But we should be confident going to stay. I'm sure we are. Shakhtar and Dynamo are currently on 5 points each, and we're on 10 points, so we're very much favourites in this instance. Guardiola today has also been talking a lot in the press conferences. He also mentioned Arteta, which is interesting, which made me think Arteta might actually be going. Now, he was obviously prompted for this, but his quotes were interesting. He put, for sure he will be a manager. I would like him to stay with us as long as possible, but personal life is personal life. His professional desire is professional. Normally these defensive midfielders have a wide vision, which is obviously a nod to himself there as a former number 6 and all that kind of stuff. And to me, that's that whole thing where people are really diplomatic because they think something's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta's managing Arsenal come the 1st of December, 1st of January 2020. I don't want it to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. Guardiola in general was in a pretty good mood in the press conference. He talks a lot about how he feels like the players are in good condition. Then he talked a lot about kind of like the team news stuff. I'm going to get onto the team news now because the main takeaway from this and the main headline of this whole I guess this whole week is that Aguero is going to be out. He did say Aguero is going to be out for a few games, a few weeks, which is not good. And these isn't the quotes that any of us wanted to hear. Though he was very, very positive about Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel was also in the press conference and he was so diplomatic and so magnanimous. And I really admired Gabriel Jesus' kind of just decency. Now, all footballers will do this, but he seemed genuine when he talked about how he totally and utterly respects Aguero and how obviously he's gutted that he's injured and all this kind of stuff. And he understands he's trying to get ahead of it great. And he said all the right things. So that's all you can basically do, and praise him for that basically. And then Guardiola was very good about him. He said about Gabriel Jesus, Guardiola said he's going to play many years here and the number 9 for Brazil national team. Sergio's going to retire sooner than Gabriel and hopefully he can stay longer, and we'll do everything to keep him here. His energy when he arrived, he immediately seduced us. How erotic from Guardiola there. He said he extended the contract because he wants to stay here. My advice is if he doesn't want to fight for position, he shouldn't extend, but he says he wanted to, which is obviously what we want to hear. Now, that's great that obviously Gabriel Jesus will get a chance to play some games now. It's obviously negative and it's bad that Aguero's going to miss the friendly, subconscious that, the friendly. It's not going to be anything but a friendly. The derby, I meant to say. Imagine if it was a friendly. Maybe it's a friendly for us because we're so far ahead of him, maybe not. Touch wood and all that kind of stuff. He's going to miss the derby, unfortunately. And I reckon he's going to be out for Christmas, so we're going to have to rely on Jesus in December. He's kind of used to that, isn't he? That's a terrible religious pun. Anyway, but yeah, we're going to have to rely on Gabriel Jesus for a bit now. Elsewhere, in terms of injury news, he did say that Rodri and David Silva are okay, which is obviously a huge, huge boost because we could not take losing them as well as Sergio Aguero. That would be absolutely awful. Onto the actual team. I'll talk about Gabriel Jesus in a bit, but onto the team, I'm going to say Ederson in goal is a given. Kyle Walker, I think, will come back in. Kyle Walker at right back. And then I think also Mendy will come back into the team as well. I think he will do. I think he'll play this game alongside Stones with Fernandinho, sitting this one out. And I think we'll see Angelino come back in at left back as well. I think that all kind of makes sense. I think Rodri and David Silva won't play because why would they play after a bit of an injury? You've got to give them a rest. You don't need to play them. Gundogan at number 6, I personally see, with De Bruyne and Phil Foden in midfield. I want him to start Phil Foden. I think he's earned it on merit. And I think in general, one thing I noticed during the Chelsea game is that it feels like if Foden was where he was a year ago in terms of development, he would not have been brought on the weekend. Like, I feel like Guardiola is starting to slowly but surely show that the tide is shifting with Foden. He doesn't always feel like that, but I do believe that it was notable that he actually just went to him as the immediate replacement after David Silva came off. I feel like in years gone by, or maybe like if Foden was still only a year younger, he would have looked at the bench and I feel like he would have brought Otamendi on and put Fernandinho in midfield, or maybe brought Gabriel Jesus and got Sterling to play in the middle like he did against Lyon last year in the Champions League. But it feels like now he's saying to Foden, no, you are the replacement for David Silva and you will come on if we need it. So I think there is a slow increase in trust there, and it is getting there. So Foden needs to follow up that with a game against Shakhtar, and I think he'll get it. I think Bernardo will come back into the team. I think that makes a lot of sense. One thing I'm not sure is if Sterling will start. Actually, I'm going to say I think Sterling will start with Bernardo back in the team and Mahrez on the bench, and Gabriel Jesus will go through the middle. Now, Gabriel Jesus, this is a big chance for him. It's a weird one for Gabriel Jesus. I know a lot of people get frustrated by him, and I understand that, but his record in general on goals is good. And the one thing Gabriel Jesus has never had is a strong run of games. And when he does get a strong run of games, or even just a decent run of games, he starts to score and play really well. But then Aguero comes back in, and Aguero's Aguero, so he gets into the team, and Gabriel Jesus is immediately thrown back onto the bench. So his momentum is like, it's going up, and it's kind of stops, and then it's going up and it stops, and he kind of struggles to get his form back a little bit, but then he's trying to get it back again. It's tough for Gabriel Jesus to get a real rhythm and a real momentum because he never plays any football. But when he does, you're going to struggle to find a better backup striker in world football. To do what he does at the level he does and not play as regularly as he does is genuinely impressive. I think we don't give him anywhere near enough credit for that, and it's going to be nice to see if you can actually. Basically, not every cloud has a silver lining, but in this instance, the cloud does have a nice silver lining. It'd be good to see what Gabriel Jesus can do in the absence of Aguero, because Aguero isn't in good form. He's just not in good form at the moment. He's only got one in his last 6 or 7 or something like that. He's not being anywhere near his clinical best, and as much as I absolutely love Aguero, if there was ever a time for him to take a few weeks off to rest up of an injury, he was going to be enforced, it had to happen. It's probably now with Gabriel Jesus getting a run of games to show how good he could actually be. Fingers crossed, this is a big chance for him. In terms of the opposition, Shakhtar, they're absolutely romping to the recreated Premier League. They've won 14 out of 15. They've drawn 1. They're unbeaten. They're 43 points. They're 13 clear already of Dynamo Kiev. They're going to win the league. We know they've got some good players. Obviously, we know how much they play in general. Like, they've got, like, Morris is pretty good. They've got Tyson. I don't know if these are all fit at the moment. Sorry, I haven't done my research on that. But in general, we know that Shakhtar play some decent football. We know that they will come and attack us. But we are better. They have been gutted a little bit in terms of, like, some of their better players have moved on recently, so they're not quite as strong as they were 2 or 3 years ago. I feel like we've been playing them forever, doesn't it? But they're still a decent team. Having said that, in general, this is not a Shakhtar team that we shouldn't really fear them. We should just respect them. And I feel like going on to the prediction that this is more than capable. This is a more than capable Manchester City side that we've kind of listed out there. That 11 should be enough, and it could be a really interesting few weeks now. I feel like, weirdly, even though we've got pressure on us because we're chasing Liverpool, I don't think anyone expects us to win the league at the moment. Generally, no one expects us to. And as a result, I think we can play a little bit freely, and hopefully we can play with some expression and play and find our identity, because it's been a very turbulent start to the season. Injuries everywhere. Form has been kind of very sketchy, and we just can't buy a break in terms of the injuries. Now, I know people watch this for other fans of the team going, you've got a massive squad, you're dead lucky. And you know what? You're damn right, we are dead lucky, and I'm not going to complain about that. But it's all relative to the situation Manchester City's in. I know we've got the likes of Gabriel Jesus to come in and all that kind of stuff, but we're still losing some very big players. And if it happened to your team equivalently in terms of proportionately, you'd feel it as well. And even though we've got a great squad, it does affect Manchester City when you get so many injuries. So it's been a hard start to the season, but I'm hoping now the Chelsea game could be a nice little kind of mood turner where we actually battled, and we didn't play that great. We showed enough to get through that game, and actually we came out and won. And we deservedly won, I thought, in the end, against a very good Chelsea team that was banging form. And I'm hoping in this game we get to see some big performances from players that I think need it. I hope Otamendi has a decent game if he plays. I hope Angelino shows how good he can be, and he has been in the Champions League before. I hope Phil Foden shows exactly what we all know, that he is the future of our midfield, and he can keep growing, and he can keep getting better, and he can take over that mantle from David Silva. And I think he has every kind of ability to do that. And I hope more than anything we see Bernardo Silva get some of his form back, because he has struggled recently. I don't personally buy into the whole thing where I think that the social media furore affected his form. form too much. I don't think he was playing that great beforehand. Maybe it didn't help, but I don't think it was the true cause. I think in general, that's probably played on his mind and not helped. Maybe it could have been that he started the season a bit slowly, and if that stuff hadn't happened, he would have played his way to form by now. I do agree with that, but I think there's something else going on there in general in terms of wasn't quite sharp, and I think that's obviously been a contributing factor. But hopefully now that that's gone, there's no excuses. Hopefully now that he can just get back to playing his football, and hopefully he can have a big game tomorrow night. In terms of prediction, I think we should be a comfortable win. I'm going to say we'll score 3 goals, 3-4 goals. I think we should be a comfortable. We're not great defensively, so I can see them scoring. I'm going to 4-1 to Manchester City, and I'll be happy with that. We only need a point to go through, and we're almost certainly going to get it. Touch wood, fingers crossed. Guys, let me know what you make of the game tomorrow. Don't forget to go check out the 5 things video that I learned. 5 things that I learned video. That's more of a sentence, isn't it, in English? From Saturday's Chelsea game that I posted yesterday. There'll be a link on screen right now. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully back in there, not in the bedroom, because it's very dark. Bye.